Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Chad and Dad. I'm Joseph. This is Artha, and today we're talking about something super cool. But before that, Artha, what have you been up to?
Yes, so what I've been up to this past week, I played soccer and I got player of the match,
Good job.
and
Yeah.
it was probably my best accomplishment all year.
So tell us about how you managed to get player of the game, VIP.
So usually player of the game is awarded for, somebody who scores the most goal, is the best player, gives the most assists. Yesterday, somebody shoot a ball, it hit my balls, and I was out of the game for like 15 minutes, but I came back, and that was good justification to win player of the match.
So you're saying nothing else better happened during the game, and because
Yeah,
you came back with your iron balls, you got player of the match.
yes.
And what did you get as a result of getting player of the match?
Okay, the result for getting player of the match is I got a mascot, which is Pete Bottle, the mascot from the Vancouver Return It Recycling Depot. As you can see, he's very, very mad.
He looks drunk. Like he just looks wasted.
No,
I
he
feel
looks
like
like
that's
he
the
only had like
intention.
he looks like he only has like 3 hours of sleep.
Uh, no, if you had 3 hours of sleep, you look like me. That guy just probably has never slept and is on a lifetime of crack.
Okay. And also, fun fact, what you can do is, okay, what you can do with Pete Bottle is, so I'm very happy, but next
If
week it
anything,
has to
it's
go to someone else. But
oh,
anyway,
they
that's
just
my
they just
week.
let you keep it for a week? Really?
Yeah, because every week is like a different player of the match. Unless I get kicking the balls again, I don't know if I can win it.
Well, how close were you to the ball when you got sacked?
It was very close. It was enough
So
to
it was
stop the
like
whole game.
somebody like launched the ball as hard as they could, and then you just managed to block it with your balls.
Yes.
Okay, very nice.
That's what
Good
you have
job.
to do when you play soccer.
No, I understand. I've watched Captain Tsubasa as well. In fact,
Yes, that's exactly like Captain Tsubasa.
I just finished the second season of Captain Tsubasa on Netflix, and it
Oh, the
was
one where he went to Europe or the World Cup?
No, I think that's season 3, dude. This is junior arc.
Did he already beat Hyuga yet?
He beat Hyuga in season 1, dude.
And what's in season 2?
Season 2 is against Germany.
Okay, and season 3?
I don't know. It's not out on Netflix yet, so
I
I'm
don't
sure
think
it's.
there's a season 3.
I mean, not yet, but they'll make it. They better make it.
Okay.
Wait. You know what? I'm assuming it already exists because I mean it's like the series is from 1980s, right? So I think the Netflix version is not necessarily a remake. They just brought back
It
the
is a
one from the
remake.
80s.
No,
Is
no,
it?
the one from the 80s doesn't look like that, man. The one from the 80s is very not modern.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out then. I
Yes,
guess they did remake it.
I grew up watching the one from the 80s.
Did you? I did
Yeah.
not. I realized I missed a whole lot of things growing up then.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. But anyway, how was your weekend?
It was good. I finally went to Museum of Surrey with the daughter and the wife because
I
there's a
never
nice
heard
kids
that Surrey
area.
had a museum.
Yeah, I learned about that from Instagram as well. So like, there's a random museum there that talks about like a lot of what Surrey does to keep the environment clean and all that stuff. So like, it was a nice little kids play area and whatnot. So that's what we went there for. And then they had a bunch of like art galleries and stuff that um, captures the history of Surrey or whatever. All together, it was okay. Like a nice like 1 hour stay per se.
Okay.
But you know what I did this weekend that
What?
I didn't tell you about?
What was that?
I am I'm considering purchasing some real estate in Japan right now because I got in touch with a Japanese realtor who
Okay.
gave me this really fabulous idea of so when we think of Japan, like the yen is not very strong right now, which means there's a really cool business opportunity for purchasing real estate for cheaper in Japan, right? Now,
Yes.
one of the, I think, areas of opportunity that not a lot of people have tapped into, from what I'm understanding, and this is where I still need to do a little bit more research, is investing into student housing. And what I mean
Okay.
by that is those like starter homes. So like those that are around, budget wise, about 7 to 9 million yen, which is about in Canadian dollars about 80 to 100,000 dollars. So if you
What?
invest in one of those, you can get. It's not going to be a really big room, but like you're looking at, I believe it's 20 to 30 square meters, which is actually about 200 to 300 square feet. You buy one of
So
those,
it's like a studio apartment.
literally a studio, sometimes smaller. But I mean, in Japan, that's luxury, right? So, like in
Okay.
Japan, most places are that small. And a lot of the times when you buy these places, they already have an existing tenant in there. So the at the end of the day, it's a numbers game, right? So you figure out exactly how much these tenants are currently paying. You buy the place up front,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just have to make sure that after your strata fees, they also have something called maintenance costs, or sorry, maintenance fees, and there's another fee that I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but like as long as the rental income is more than the maintenance income, then your yield is positive. So the idea for that is I'm trying to see like if there's a way I could start with something like this to kind of get my feet wet in Japan and then kind of expand from there.
And you
So
build your empire. You become a
I
slumlord.
So like it's significantly cheaper to build a custom home in Japan. So that is the end goal for me. I think there's a really big opportunity to like buy a piece of land and then build a home on it. And then maybe even do the Airbnb thing. I don't know, but like I
Yeah.
definitely want to spend part of my life of
In
each
Japan?
year in Japan in the future.
Why
And
Japan?
I want you to come visit me.
Yeah, if I can stay for free.
Yeah, of course.
Woohoo!
Of course. We'll have a room
Woohoo!
dedicated for you and everything too. Let's call it the
Love
Artha
it.
room. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, of course, man. Like I want to see what I can put together in Japan, because I think, when you think of I can't remember what it's called, but like, you can buy like homes that are in like the outskirts of Japan that are like you can buy something for like 5 to
Wait,
10,000.
outskirt of Japan, like Tokyo or what?
Like outskirts of Tokyo even. Like
Wait,
I don't know if
that's
you've
pretty good.
ever looked into it. You can actually buy a really old Japanese home for like 5 to 10,000 dollars.
Okay.
Yeah, but like it's in the middle of nowhere. So if you're looking for a return on it as an investment, it's never going to happen. But if you want to buy it, because there are YouTube series that actually document something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Foreigners go over to Japan, buy one of these, and then they document their entire process of like building it up and fixing it up and living in it themselves.
Lovely.
Again, it's not something that you can like sell back out or like make a profit doing Airbnb or whatever, because it's just not an area that has that. But what I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
at is like central Tokyo, buying one of these smaller homes for like a hundred
Oh,
thousand
so it's
dollars.
like, so it's inside Tokyo. I thought you were trying to buy like a haunted one,
No, no, I wish. Yeah,
like in The
maybe in the
Grudge.
future. Yeah, no. So yeah, so I'm looking into that right now because I'm very fascinated with the whole idea of owning property in Japan, because it's not worth owning real estate in Canada anymore. I think just the rules are
Yeah,
just
the
not.
rules, and then like, as a renter, prices are actually going down, which is good for like the everyday people.
Yep.
But for people who buy like properties as an investment, they're seeing like, I think I was reading yesterday, on average, like the rental prices been going down like $100 to $200.
Yeah, depending on the yeah, depending on the square footage of the home, right? Yeah, and the number of bedrooms and everything. Like one bedrooms, I think, are going down the most, especially around the downtown area.
Exactly, especially like the new developments, and more are coming, right? Which
Yeah,
again, I think as a renter, it's good. As like a normal everyday human being, it's good, right? It's just
yeah.
like the people who bought like five for like investments are gonna be like, ooh.
You
But
know why? I actually looked into this. I watched a video on this, and part of the reason, I don't know if you know this, is like there's a lot of rental purpose built buildings that just opened up very recently. So they started construction like a couple of years ago. And this was the year where all of them just started flooding the market because they just finished building. So as a result, a lot of realtors that built these buildings, they need to get the inventory out there. And they need to get people in, right? So they purposely, you know, started renting it out for less. And as a result, right, more supply in the market, and everything comes down, right,
Exactly.
rental wise. So it's a little crazy. Anywho,
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
but it has to go down, Joseph. It's like it's stupid.
no, it's, I mean, I have nothing against them. Like I know it's going to be great for the average house renter, the tenant, for example, but for a landlord like myself, like that's looking
Yeah.
for new opportunities, Vancouver just isn't a place to go for me anymore, right? I still love it here, but I think from an investment standpoint, it's just not the place to do it.
Yeah.
Anywho, I've been learning so much about it, and I will, one last thing I'll mention before we move on is something I've learned very recently is, did you know ChatGPT has a mic feature? So what I mean by that is you can actually tap on this mic feature and then talk to ChatGPT, and it'll recite like stuff back to you. And I use it as like a conversation builder whenever I'm taking Pepper out for a walk at night to learn about stuff. So I spent, I don't know, like an hour the other day just learning all about Japanese real estate and owning Japanese real estate as a foreigner, and
Okay.
it was very informative.
Interesting. Well, actually, yeah, that could be like the new podcast, right?
But
Like,
you mean talking to
yeah,
ChatGPT?
yeah, talking to ChatGPT.
That could be a thing. I don't
Yeah.
I don't see why not. Yeah.
Wow. Good luck to all podcasters, eh?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually there comes a tool where it's like ChatGPT talking to Gemini or something, you know?
Hmm.
Did you see about the headlines today about DeepSeek AI?
Yeah, I was about to mention the competitor from China.
Yeah. I didn't read too deep into it, but like everyone's saying like, oh, they spent $6 million to build it or something, and then I don't know. I want to say it's a whole bunch of misinformation out there by China in order to undermine our like AI
Mm.
technical technological advancement or whatever.
I don't know, man. The Imperial Kingdom of the States needs a rival.
Yes.
It has to,
Anywho,
man. It
yeah,
has to, man. I'm sorry, man. You have a leader who's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna raise tariff. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, you tariff you, like tariff you nonstop. I'm just like, I was like, this is bullying already. This is
oh,
not
it's
even
straight up
bullying.
bullying.
This is like gangster, like like this is the mafia. It's like, oh, you don't
But
want that? I'm like, okay. I'm like,
are you talking about the whole incident just like yesterday in Colombia?
yeah, exactly. And then the
Yeah.
Colombian guy, I was like, oh, the Colombian government should just play this through. And then nope, they didn't. Now they're accepting the flights.
Yeah, you know, I got actually I got very confused with the whole thing about that, but I don't know if I want to dive into it because I read
Yeah,
multiple articles. They all said the same thing, and I feel like I don't know, they're like the US is really grasping at straws at like one little thing and then calling it a victory. Anyways,
yeah.
cool. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on because we don't have a whole lot of time. Now, before we dive into our topic today, which is you know what? We'll talk about what the topic is later.
Okay.
I've been trying to think about. No, you know what? Let's finish off with our rotating podcast topics. Okay, let's dive right into our topic today because I think this is a really good segue for considering real estate in Japan is my goal, right? What
Mm-hmm.
I'm working towards. Now, I thought that was a really good segue for the topic that we're talking about today is what would you do if you could move anywhere in the world? Now, I want to dive into that because, you know, for me, like what we just talked about, I've always wanted to live in Japan. Artha, I don't know if you ever wanted to live in Malaysia or Kuala Lumpur or Indonesia. All right. I learned from last week.
Continue.
But
Yes, continue.
what I want to do is let's swing it the other way and talk about what would you do if you could move anywhere in the world, but
Mm,
we're specifically focusing on the wrong reasons only.
okay.
You know where I'm going with this? And
Yeah.
why? Wrong reasons
Okay.
only, and what would you do?
Okay. So let's
Any
start off with
question?
you, Joseph. Give us an
Okay.
example.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The example that I gave you during our chat today, I'm not going to use that. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, okay, so something I've been always thinking about because it's so mysterious. North Korea. I would.
Okay.
Oh, we're going
You
right
want to
there. We're
move
going right
there.
there.
You want to move to North Korea.
I want to move to North Korea and work as a tour guide leading foreigners through the streets.
Okay.
And you know why I wanted to do that? Because one, dude, don't you want to go to North Korea? It's so mysterious.
I
Like
do want to
I
go to
get
North
it.
Korea,
There's
yes.
so like weird news coming out of it and all that stuff,
I
but
want to
like
run the marathon in North Korea.
is there a marathon in North Korea?
It's a thing. It's a thing. People go to North Korea, do the marathon during the Arirang festival, and then yeah, it's a thing. Look it up. You can actually
How
sign
have
up.
I not heard of North Korea full marathon before? And the Pyongyang marathon has been canceled since the start of the pandemic in 2020.
Okay. Well, I
2021
wasn't.
to 2023 has also since been. Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Oh, wow. Okay, so in 2025, it's actually open again.
All right. Go, man.
Okay, wait. Important note. All tours to North Korea are suspended as the borders to the country are all closed. 2024 has been closed. Okay, I have no idea. Anyways,
But anyway,
so
there is. It's
yeah,
a thing. Like foreigners will actually do the marathon.
you have taught me something today that I'm very interested about.
Yeah.
I
So
am
if anything, you
so
should go to North
excited.
Korea for to do the marathon.
Well, I mean, okay, again, we're focusing on the wrong reasons. That is definitely a right reason, but I'm going to tell you, okay, so I want to work as a tour guide because I feel like you can get like some of the inner workings of North Korea being a part of that society. But at the
Okay.
same time, I think, with so much bad news coming out of North Korea, it's like, people there don't really get enough to eat and all that. You know what you do as a tour guide? You probably get enough to eat because
Mm-hmm.
you want to
Because
make sure
you
the
don't want to be
people,
skinny. Yeah.
yeah, well, if I'm skinny, I'm going to lead bad tours and give a bad impression over to the people visiting North Korea. So I probably get paid pretty well too. Get paid pretty well, probably get enough to eat. I get to see the inner workings of North Korea, hopefully. Seems like a win-win to me.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the fact that it's North Korea, obviously, but I think
Okay.
what I've learned is like there are actually Chinese people that actually takes a train into North Korea because North Korea hires Chinese people and some South Koreans too, apparently,
Mm-hmm.
to work in their
South
country.
Koreans, interesting.
I don't know about South
Well,
Koreans actually. I don't know Chinese people though. Yeah, because I learned about that in Korea.
okay. Well, to not counter your answer, but I guess to to kind of balance out your answer, I actually want to move to South Korea
Oh.
just so I can participate in a physical 100. Wrong reasons only, right?
Well, continue.
Okay. But yeah, but basically, what I wanted to do is I just want, I just want to move to Korea. It'll force me to get so much in shape because everyone there is like so beautiful and handsome because
Shouldn't you get in
societal
shape?
pressures.
Shouldn't you get in shape first before going
No,
there?
I need the societal pressures. Canada is way too accepting of all body
Yeah.
types, even though Vancouver itself is an anomaly because everyone here is like gorgeous.
True. Very true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happens in physical 100 again? They like participate in strength games.
Exactly. So, you get like a combination of bodybuilders, wall climbers, cheerleaders, And just because they're so mean, they added like like sumo wrestlers, and it's like not fair because like the challenges are like run the longest in the treadmill, and it's just like you have like
I didn't know they
triathletes
had
here.
sumo wrestlers.
I don't know.
Damn.
It's like it's sad, but it's also a bit hilarious because seeing the contrast, right?
But like the games that they play, are they mostly cardio based or strength based or just
It's
mixed
a
of
it's a
everything?
combination, but to be fair, little of the games will be in your favor if you're a sumo wrestler, other than wrestling.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I recall. You know what? I do recall watching some advertisements for it. I just never got into it. I think I tried like 10 minutes of the first episode, and I was just like, I don't like this show. I don't know what it
Okay,
is about
because
it.
you're not in shape, Joseph.
Probably true. I'm like, I feel like this show is just gonna make me feel bad. You know. I did watch the other show, by the way, the cooking one. Do you remember what that is?
Oh, the yeah, I know. The one where it's like super trained chefs versus
Yeah, amateur
like,
chefs or something like that. Yeah,
exactly.
or not amateur, but like yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
forgot what's it called. Like, oh, culinary class wars.
Culinary class wars. Yes, yeah. And then that was pretty good. No, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it. I just never finished it. I think it got to the second stage or something like that. But yeah.
Okay. But
Okay.
yeah, anyway, that's my first country. How about you? What's your second country?
You know, I've always wanted to have you ever wanted to hike the Everest?
Yes.
You do? I want to
Yes.
know what it's like to be a Sherpa.
Okay.
So I want to move to Nepal.
All
I
right.
would consider living in Nepal just so I could be a Sherpa.
Man,
So
like Sherpa people are like physiologically are like some of the strongest
superior.
people in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, so then I can go off to a physical 100.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, like it's funny. I'm just like the amount of work that they have to do in order to like I don't know what the life of a Sherpa is, but like you're obviously taking people up and down the mountain every single
Yeah. You're kind of
like
like in
day.
Indonesia what we call like a porter.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard that word
Yeah.
before. But like
Yeah.
you're basically guiding people up the mountain to the summit of
Yeah.
Everest,
And
right?
you're also carrying a lot of gear as well.
Yeah. Like are you carrying the person who you're hiking with
No,
gear
you're not
as
carrying,
well?
but you're carrying their gear.
So you are carrying their gear, and what are they hiking up with? Just like
They're
their
carrying with
oxygen
just
tank
like
and stuff?
minimal stuff because you need like so much stuff, right? You sometimes like oxygen tanks, things like that.
Yeah. So that's where I was just like, Jesus, these guys, I feel like they don't get enough, what do you call it, recognition for the amount
Mm-hmm.
of like summiting that they do. It's like, a guy's like super proud of himself for summiting like Mount Everest. I'm like, those Everest, like those Sherpas, they do it like 3, 4 times a month or a week. I don't know how often they do
Okay,
it.
so to be like a Sherpa guide for Everest, it's like apparently it's like quite a selective process. But it's so dangerous as well, right? But the
Yeah.
reason why it's such a popular job is because like I think the GDP of like the average Nepali citizen is like annually you make like how much? Like 6,000, within like 6,000 or $8,000,
Yeah.
like annually, right?
I know it's low. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but basically it's low. But then like for this Sherpa guides, you can make like 30 to 50K per hike. So it's just like it's actually
Wait,
quite a coveted
really?
job. Yeah.
30 to 50K per hike?
Wait, let's see.
That's
Um,
that seems really high.
no, it's really they make so much money. It costs a
It's
lot of money to hike Everest, man. It's like
no, I'm aware. I'm aware. I know. I read a report recently that they increased the the entrance fee or something.
okay, sorry, yeah, maybe I over exaggerate. It's between 5,000 to 10,000 for personal climbing Sherpa. But still, if you like guide like 3-4 times, I'm just like,
But
yeah.
like 5 to 10,000, what is that like per trip? So like, how long does it take to hike over to the summit and back? Does it take like a
Uh,
week?
I think it's like 2 weeks or something because you need to get acclimatized each time.
Yeah, but I mean, you when you start the hike, you're already acclimatized, right? So I'm talking like,
Well,
when is the Sherpa taking you there and back?
slowly. Let's see. Uh, don't quote me on this, but okay, the price for the overall climb, including gear, your supplies, permits, is like 45,000. But then some fully custom climbing can be like 115,000, and yeah,
The hell? At some point, just take a helicopter.
I know, right? A personal climbing Sherpa will cost anywhere between 5,000, while a Sherpa for loading and unloading starts at 3,000. A Sherpa that provides cooking is like 2,000, and don't
As in
forget
the
cover.
Wait, as in the Sherpa cooks for you? Oh, that's pretty neat, yo. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but
It seems nice.
okay, the permit in Nepal is like 11,000,
Yeah, they're
and
increasing it to 15.
of course, and then plus a 4,000 trash permit. Yeah, basically it's expensive, but I do want to do it once in your life, right?
Would you do it with me?
Sure. Just
Done.
let me get into shape first. Physical 100.
Oh, come on. You don't need to. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're still young. Do all you're young,
Indeed.
you know?
Okay, but
All
all
right, your
right.
turn, buddy.
So, okay, do you watch MMA?
I do. I watch the highlights. Yes.
Did you watch the most recent one last week?
Uh, Tyson Fury.
No, not Tyson Fury.
Wait, no, sorry, that's boxing. What happened in the most recent one?
So, okay. So, uh, have you heard? Okay. Do you know Habib Nurmagomedov? Oh my
Yeah.
God, I just
Wait,
butchered it.
isn't that the guy who he got kicked off the plane because they thought
Yes,
he
yes,
couldn't speak
yes,
English or whatever?
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. What about him?
So now, because he already retired from MMA, right?
Wait, he retired?
Yeah, he's
I didn't
not
know
doing it
that.
anymore. Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
now he's coaching, and he's coaching this guy named Umar Nurmagomedov,
Okay.
and he just retained his title as lightweight champion against like an Irish fighter.
I'm trying to think where you're going with this.
Okay, so in one of the interviews that he did is like Umar was like, here's the thing, right? Like Ireland's MMA compared to Dagestan, where he's from, which is a republic in Russia, is like compared like Dagestan's MMA is here, okay? Irish MMA still here. If you want to be good, send your children to Dagestan for 3 years. He will go here. So I'm like, so the next country I want to go to is Dagestan, the Republic of Dagestan in Russia, and learn MMA for 3 years, just so I can be an MMA lightweight champion.
Dagestan, Russia.
Yeah,
Okay. Have you even Googled what Dagestan? I don't even know how you spell Dagestan.
Dage.
Dagestan.
Yeah. Okay, so you know how like Russia is like a federation of smaller countries?
Not really. No. But
Well,
please
now
continue.
you do. Now you
Okay.
do. So there's like other countries like Tatarstan, you know, Tatarstan inside of Russia as well. Basically a lot of like Central Asian countries who decide to be part of Russia after the Soviet fall. But anyway, so Dagestan is one of the countries who decide to be part of Russia.
Okay.
So, but technically, they're kind of like their own country or
What
like
are
their
they
own like
part of?
ethnic group.
Oh, Dude, they're kind of like the south of Russia kind of thing. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Sweet.
So yeah.
So
But anyway,
so you want to go there just so you can essentially get beat up? And then,
no. Train,
well,
Joseph.
listen, what do you think happens in training? You get your
Yes, get beat
ass
up.
beat. Yeah, you get beat up. And then
Yeah.
eventually, hopefully, as
But
a
when I
result, you
come
get
back, it was
stronger.
like no one's gonna mess with me. Wrong answers only, right? Yes.
You, have you heard of CM Punk?
Yes.
CM Punk, the wrestler? And then you know
Yes.
how, like, for a period of time, he left wrestling and then he wanted to try his hand at MMA, right?
Yeah, yeah. Didn't you
He
fight
fought.
Jake Paul or something?
No, he didn't fight Jake Paul. He fought two. He fought two fights, and he got beat in both, and that was
Yeah.
because he had no fighting background, and he was
Okay.
great in the ring in WWE because I think he's athletic, but he's not athletic to the point where he can actually do like real fights and whatnot.
Okay.
So so that would be like you. I'm just saying. That's like
It's okay.
that's like me, a random person, being like, "Hey, I'm gonna be an MMA fighter," and then go to like some random city that's like or Dagestan that like
Mm-hmm.
specializes in training, and you expect like to become a fighter afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like me being like, I'm just gonna go to soccer school and then I'm gonna go play in FIFA.
Yes.
Anywho.
You wanted to be Sherpa so you can climb mountains.
Well, I mean, I run regularly, so I feel like my cardio's up there when it comes to being a Sherpa. So maybe a little bit of
Yeah.
training, I'll get there. Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, what about you? What's your
All
last
right.
country?
Last one. Okay. So my last one is, and I did some research on this. Did you know that there is an actual organization for yodeling in Switzerland? So like Switzerland and Austria are meant to be like are the countries that have really famous groups they're like known for yodeling.
Okay.
I want to be a professional yodeler, so I want to move to Switzerland.
Do it.
And I want to be hired to join company meetings to
Mm-hmm.
do some yodeling.
Okay. All right.
That's all. That's it. That's it.
When was the last time like a company like General Assembly was like, you know what we need, guys?
A
Yodeler.
yodeler. Well,
No.
let's flip it the other way. Like, when was the last time someone did do one?
No, never heard of him.
Exactly, and that's why we name a company from Switzerland or Austria that's really famous. I don't know where I'm going with this, but
No,
as I'm saying,
I don't think it's a thing for like you to invite yodelers to a company.
I
For
think it would be
festivals, maybe.
hilarious. Oh yeah, I mean, I could do both, right? Like, I'm not saying just business meetings. I could also be like festivals, the Switzerland Festival, Also, I've heard how beautiful it is. I was actually going to go there later this year, but I'm going to Australia instead to do a full marathon there. But yeah.
Okay.
Anywho, let's go over your last one.
All right. The last one I want to move to is Madagascar.
Africa? No, where's
So the
okay.
reason why is the average man height in Madagascar is 161 centimeters or 5'3".
So you would be the tallest man
So
in
I can join the
Madagascar.
national basketball team of Madagascar because I'm super tall there.
Can you play basketball?
No, which is why I have to move to Madagascar to join the football team. I had to join the basketball team because it's the only country that'll probably accept me.
You know what? I imagine it'd be like a Shaq situation. You know how like he was significantly taller than all the other players, so then all he had to do was just like reach up and grab the ball. Just
Exactly, like Yao Ming, remember?
oh, dude, yeah. I recall he wasn't very good at basketball for the most
But he
part.
was so tall, and he was a legend because he was so tall.
Yeah, I mean that's the same with Shaq, I believe. Like I think I read some stuff online, people saying like he's not very good at shooting, but he was very good at getting the ball because of how big he was, and he just dominated the court
No,
as a
because yeah,
result.
even when Shaq was in the NBA, he was a bit chunky, you know.
Yes, was he any good at shooting? You should know better than I do.
I think he was not bad. I mean, he's in the NBA, so I would presume you have like a
True,
baseline skill of you know, skills.
I'll give you that.
But it's like if I right now in Canada, like I'm slightly on the top of the average because like I'm like still a bit tall, but there's a lot of people as tall as me. But if I go to Madagascar and they're like, shit,
You'd
we
be the
need to compete in the
tallest man.
Olympics, guys. We need our basketball team, and I'm like, let's get that guy who's like 6 feet, who's like towering like 9 inches more than everyone else on average.
I actually need to look up where Madagascar is. I'm surprised. Why would they be 5'3"? I mean, aren't I don't
Say it,
I don't know how to say this without being
say it,
racist.
say
Aren't
it.
they known for being quite tall?
Well, technically, Madagascar is not part of like the African like continent.
Yeah.
It's like a separate island, so maybe you know different diets. I want to say, or
Well, all
or
right.
Mauritius, which is even more secluded.
Where's Mauritius?
Mauritius is a famous country that has a lot of Indian and Chinese population there.
Oh shoot. Wow. I did not realize it's like just off of Madagascar. It's like
Neat.
wow. You know,
Exactly.
I didn't realize Madagascar was its own island, and then
Mm-hmm.
you go a little bit east, and that's Mauritius
Exactly.
or Saint Reunion. I think that's what you call it. Wow, that is mind blowing. You
See,
know,
the
part of me
world
I've
is
always
big, Jim.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Seashells is like right above too.
Yeah. Oh my
I've
God, that's
always
even
wanted
more
to.
random.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Africa. I just feel like I just can't go there without like knowing somebody there to go with. I don't know.
Yeah, I also
Yeah,
want to go to Africa, like Nigeria, Rwanda, Kenya.
yeah.
Mostly those
Kenya, I'm
three.
down. Tanzania, right? Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome. Cape Town. Oh, I would go to Cape Town anytime.
Yeah,
Anyways, well, anytime you want to go, you let me know. I'll come with you.
yeah. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Well,
First we got to
no,
go
we're
hike Everest.
no, we're gonna go marathon in North Korea. No.
Dude, I'm so down.
Can
You
you
down?
imagine? Can you imagine like telling your wife, "Is like, oh honey, by the way, I'm going to North Korea."
Dude, I don't know if you know this, but like a couple of years ago, we actually went to South Korea together, right? So that was the time where you could go to the border between South Korea and North Korea. I can't remember what the tour is called, but
Oh,
like we actually went to
the
that border.
demilitarized zone.
Yeah, the militarized zone. That's when you could like go into that house, and then like, if you step over a certain line, that's considered like North Korea or whatever, um, whatnot. So that was a really cool tour. Anyways, where I'm going with that is I actually afterwards looked up like whether or not it's possible to do a tour in North Korea, and it turns out you could. So they have like you can do like I believe it's like a week stay for like $4,000 or something like that because I looked that
All
up.
right.
And then what you can do is like you fly into North Korea and you stay into their like foreigner designated like visitor designated area. So like they probably dress it all up real nice and whatnot, but then you like stay in one of their hotels. They'll lead you around to like all the different parts of North Korea and whatnot. So
Okay.
very like obviously very guarded in a sense, like guards
Mhm.
everywhere and stuff just to make sure you're like seeing the right thing and whatnot. So I was very intrigued by that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should go, man, and tell me how it goes.
Dude, why are you scared?
I don't know. I want to do the marathon. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm so down. I'm actually gonna look it up right after this.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think that'll
Anywho,
be a cool. I think that'll be a cooler medal than like the one that you're aiming for.
the Abbott World Major. Oh,
Yes.
come on, buddy. Yeah. You know, I'm doing Australia, right? Like I said, I'm doing the Australia Marathon in July, I
Which
believe.
part of Australia?
Sorry, uh,
Sydney or Melbourne?
Sydney. It's a Sydney
Sydney.
Marathon.
Sydney Marathon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes,
Sydney
Sydney's
Marathon.
great. I love Sydney.
That's in August 31st to be exact. So I managed to get into that. So I'm going to be doing that. So if you want to come,
No, I'm gonna be in
this,
Europe at that time.
where you going?
I'm going to England.
England. Nice.
England, yes.
Cool. Okay, well, let's wrap it up. So before we close it off, Artha, I do want to change up some of our rotating do want to change up some of our podcast structure so that we can bring a bit more I want to say variety into the mix. So I wanted to run a couple of things by you, and then starting next week, what I want to do is we'll dive into a different topic,
Okay.
like different theme, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like that might be a little bit of fun, but let me get your like real time reaction to it.
Okay.
So number one is, I mean, this is something we talked about right before. It's like I took this from Trevor Noah, but I think he has a really good mix for this. So like, if I ruled the world. So we
Yes.
come into it is, if I ruled the world, what would you do? So you bring in something ridiculous, I'll bring in something ridiculous, and then we'll just go over it. And then at the end, we'll argue about it. And then at the end, we'll say, do you agree, Artha, with my idea? Yes, I agree. Or no, I do not. And here's why. Something like that.
Okay.
Like it? You
Yeah.
like it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite similar to what we did last week, actually. Now, the second idea that I want to try is $1 million bad ideas.
Okay. I like that.
Basically, it's the whole idea is bring a really terrible business proposal, but that also somehow makes sense. And your
Okay.
whole idea is you have to justify why you think it makes sense, and then sell me on whether or not it's a good or bad idea.
Yeah. I
Sounds
like
good?
that because it has bad
Okay.
ideas in.
Yeah. Yes. As long as it's funny. I think that's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Time Machine Tuesdays. So, I mean, ignore the Tuesday in it, but like, what would you change in history, but with ridiculous consequences? So pick a moment in time that you think you would change, like kill baby Hitler, for example. And then what do you
Mm-hmm.
think? I mean, don't use that because I think that's been discussed to a million times. But like, what do you think would happen as a result?
Okay.
Okay. Number 4 is, and this is my last one, is swap lives. So who would you trade lives with? So pick a random person, character, or animal for a day and switch lives with them. Who would that be? But the whole thing is, it doesn't have to be a real person.
Okay.
So it could be like, I want to be Captain Tsubasa for a day. Here's why.
All right.
What do you think?
I like that. Okay. I like the third and fourth one. I want to do the third one.
You want to do Time Machine?
Yes.
Time Machine Tuesday?
Yes.
Do it. Okay. Well, is that what we're going to tackle next week?
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, that's the idea. All right. So I think what we'll do is we'll test out every one of these every single week. We'll try a new topic, and then obviously certain weeks we'll also bring back in like what would you do if series.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a rotating cast of topics. So every week it'll be something different, and we'll pull out our creative juices into things and keep things interesting.
Perfect.
All right,
Alrighty,
dude.
boy.
That's it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. What are our socials?
Our socials are Chad and Dad. What are our...
We still gotta set those up, don't we?
Yes. But anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Tune in again next week, everyone, where we will discuss if we could change history. Yeah, that's all I have. That's all I have.
What would you change in history, but with ridiculous consequences? Okay.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. All right.